Veltri had only one job: kill the human named Elias Cade. She had trained for this her whole life. She was not like others in the Krill Dominion. She was faster, stronger, colder. Her eyes saw in the dark. Her claws could cut through armor. Her mind never hesitated. The Dominion trusted her more than any other soldier. That's why they chose her for this mission. The human must die. No questions. No mistakes. The human had become a problem. He had escaped from 3 different planets. He had destroyed 2 Krill outposts. He had taken down a battleship with only 1 stolen shuttle. No one understood how. No one believed it was possible. But he did it. His name was Elias Cade. 1 man. 1 problem. 1 target. And now, Veltri was hunting him. She landed on the jungle planet of Vora 6. Thick green trees covered everything. The air was hot and wet. Insects buzzed. Animals watched from the shadows. She moved without sound. Her black armor blended with the dark. Her breathing was slow. Her claws were ready. Her tracker beeped once. Then again. He was near. She followed the signal through the trees. Footprints. Broken branches. The scent of smoke. He was camping. Veltri stopped on a hill. Below, she saw a small fire. A man sat beside it. He was cooking something over the flames. He wore no armor. Just simple clothes. He looked relaxed. Calm. Too calm. She stayed hidden. Watched. Waited. She could strike now. 1 jump. 1 slash. It would be over. But something stopped her. The man looked up. Right at her. "I know you're there," he said. His voice was quiet. Not afraid. Not angry. Just tired. "If you're going to watch me eat," he said, "you might as well join me." Veltri froze. Was this a trap? She looked around. No other heat signals. No drones. No weapons pointed her way. Just him. Just the fire. Just the smell of grilled fish. Slowly, carefully, she stepped out of the trees. Her claws stayed at her sides. Her eyes never blinked. He didn't move. He didn't reach for a weapon. He just turned the fish on the pan. "Hungry?" he asked. She didn't answer. He pointed at the log across from him. "You can sit. I won't bite." Veltri tilted her head. This human was strange. No fear. No hate. No fight. She walked forward and sat. Still ready to kill him if needed. He handed her a plate. "Name's Elias," he said. "But I guess you already know that." She looked at the food. Simple fish. Some roots. Cooked with care. Smelled good. "I used to be a chef," he said. "Back on Earth. Before the war." Veltri looked at him. He had scars on his arms. A tired look in his eyes. Not weak. But worn. "I didn't ask for this fight," Elias said. "They came to our world. We defended it. Then we ran." He looked at her claws. "I know what they told you. That I'm a killer. A threat. But I didn't want any of this." She stayed silent. He took a bite of his food and chewed slowly. "They say you're the best," he said. "Fastest assassin in the Dominion." Veltri's eyes narrowed. Elias nodded. "I believe it. I've been waiting for you." She finally spoke. Her voice was low and sharp. "Why did you not run?" He smiled a little. "I'm tired of running." She didn't understand. He had a chance. He could have escaped again. "You want to die?" "No," he said. "But I'm tired of killing, too." They sat in silence for a long time. The fire cracked. A bird cried in the trees. Then, she picked up the plate. Took a bite. It was good. Warm. Spiced. Familiar. She hadn't tasted real food in years. Elias watched her. Not with fear. Not with anger. With something else. Understanding. That night, Veltri didn't send her report. She didn't kill Elias Cade. She sat by his fire. Ate his food. Watched the stars above. And for the first time in her life, she began to wonder if everything she was told was a lie. Veltri didn't sleep that night. She didn't need much rest, but even if she had tried, her mind would not stop. She had sat by a human. Eaten his food. Shared his fire. And not just any human, the Elias Cade. The most wanted fugitive in the galaxy. And she had let him live. At dawn, the fire was cold. Elias was already awake. He was sharpening a small knife, not for fighting but for cooking. "Morning," he said. She didn't answer. Her claws flexed. Her eyes scanned the jungle. Still no danger. He pointed at a pot. "Made some tea. Real leaves. Found them near the river." She took the cup, still watching him closely. The tea was bitter, but not bad. "You're not like the others," he said quietly. Veltri looked at him. "What do you mean?" "You didn't attack me while I slept," Elias said. "You didn't poison the food. You're thinking. I can see it." He stood and walked to the edge of the clearing. "You're starting to doubt them." Veltri's voice was cold. "The Dominion does not lie." Elias turned around. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp. "That's what I used to think about my own government," he said. "Until they told us we had to destroy entire cities because the Krill started it. Until they ordered me to leave wounded behind. Until they stopped calling us people and started calling us resources." He walked back and sat on a log. "They trained you to kill. Told you we're monsters. But what if we're not?" Veltri looked down at her claws. Her first mission was when she was 10. A traitor. An easy kill. No questions. No mercy. Since then, she had taken 76 lives. Always sure. Always proud. But now, a human was cooking tea, and asking her to think. The tracker on her wrist blinked red. A message. Command, report status. Confirm kill. Upload DNA sample. She stared at the blinking light. If she lied, they would know. They always did. But if she told the truth, she might be marked a traitor. Elias noticed her silence. "They're checking in." She didn't answer. "You don't have to run," he said. "But you don't have to obey, either." She raised her head sharply. "I was made to obey." Elias stood again, voice harder this time. "No. You were trained to obey. That's different." The wind shifted. A strange hum filled the air. Veltri turned fast. So did Elias. A ship. A small Krill scout craft was landing near the ridge. Too soon. They weren't supposed to come yet. Veltri stepped back. Her claws out. "They sent back up." Elias cursed under his breath. "Guess they didn't trust you." She looked at him. "You should run." He gave a tired laugh. "I already told you I'm done running." A pause. Then she said something she never thought she'd say. "I can delay them." Elias looked at her, surprised. Why? She didn't know. Maybe it was the food. Maybe it was his voice. Maybe it was the fact that, for the first time in years, someone treated her like more than a tool. "You saved me," she said, without reason. He shook his head. No, I just treated you like a person. That word hit her hard. Person. Not weapon. Not assassin. Not asset. Person. The scout ship landed. 2 Krill troopers stepped out. Claws ready. Guns charged. Vel try, one said through a comlink. Confirm kill. She stepped forward. Body tense. Mask on. Yes, she said. Target neutralized. They paused. Where is the body? Burned, she said. Too dangerous to keep intact. Biological risk. One of the troopers looked past her toward the fire pit. Smoke. No sign of a body. But enough to believe her story. Upload DNA, they ordered. Veltri opened a compartment on her belt. Pulled out a blood sample. Her own. Modified with human protein. They scanned it. Pause. Scan complete. Mission complete, the trooper said. Prepare for extraction. Veltri stayed silent. Then said, I will remain here. I found signs of other rebels. The trooper hesitated. Then nodded. Understood. Send reports every 12 hours. They left. The ship roared into the sky. Elias stepped out from behind a tree. You lied for me, he said. Veltri looked at him. I bought us time. He smiled. Us. She didn't smile back, but her eyes were different now. Less cold. More alive. That night, they sat by the fire again. No weapons. No lies. Just 2 people. A human who didn't want to kill anymore. And a Krill assassin who didn't want to be a killer. The jungle felt different now. Less like a battlefield. More like a hiding place. A quiet space between the noise of war and the truth they had both just started to face. Veltri had stayed behind. Not because of orders. Not because of duty. Because of a choice. She had lied to her commanders. Covered up Elias's survival. For the first time in her life, she wasn't following a mission. She was following something inside her. Something she didn't fully understand yet. Elias was different too. He had been running for months. Fighting. Escaping. Surviving. But now, he moved slower. Calmer. His hands no longer shook when he lit the fire. His eyes no longer searched for traps every 5 seconds. Because she was still there. Veltri could have killed him anytime. But she didn't. And that meant something. They built a small shelter near the river. Nothing permanent, just enough to keep the rain out and the gear dry. Elias repaired an old solar battery he found. Veltri set traps for food and kept watch at night. They worked as a team without saying much. But the silence wasn't cold anymore. One morning, Elias handed Veltri a metal ring the size of her palm. What is this? She asked. A stove coil, he said. For making real coffee. If I can find the beans. She looked at it, confused. You're giving me this? He nodded. You saved my life. Might as well give you something useful in return. She looked down at the ring. Then up at him. I don't understand humans, she said. Elias gave a small smile. That makes 2 of us. Later that day, while checking traps, Veltri stopped near the river. She looked at her reflection in the water. Her face was part krill, part shadow beast. Her eyes were silver. Her skin dark and smooth like stone. She was built for fear. Built to be silent. Deadly. But now, she felt unsure. Who was she, if not a weapon? Could a killer change? Could someone like her be more than a mission? When she returned to camp, Elias was working on a message beacon. Are you calling someone? She asked. He shook his head. No signal strong enough. Just recording. For what? He looked up, thoughtful. In case I don't make it. Someone needs to know what really happened. What the Dominion did. What we saw. She walked closer. You think anyone will believe you? Maybe not, he said. But someone has to tell the story. He paused, then looked at her. Maybe you'll tell it, if I don't. Veltri frowned. I don't tell stories. He smiled. Maybe it's time you learned. That night, the stars were bright. The jungle quiet. Elias sat by the fire, flipping through a small notebook. Veltri watched him. What are you reading? Recipes, he said. From Earth. Some are mine. Some from my daughter. She leaned in slightly. You had a family. He nodded slowly. Yeah. Before the war. Where are they now? He didn't answer right away. Then he whispered, gone. Silence. Veltri lowered her eyes. I'm sorry. He nodded. Me too. The next morning, everything changed. A sound in the distance. Sharp. Mechanical. A krill drone. Veltri spotted it first. It hovered high, scanning, blinking red. She pulled Elias into the trees. They found us, she said. Elias cursed. How much time? Maybe an hour. Less if they're close. He grabbed his pack. Then we move. Veltri stayed still. They'll send a full squad this time. Maybe two. He looked at her. You still have a way out. She nodded. There's an old supply tunnel 3 clicks west. Then let's go. They ran through the jungle. Fast. Quiet. Every sound behind them could be a footstep, a weapon, a drone. At one point, Elias tripped. Veltri grabbed him before he hit the rocks. Thanks, he muttered. Keep moving, she said. They reached the supply tunnel half buried, overgrown, forgotten. Elias climbed in first. Veltri followed, sealing the entrance behind them. Inside, it was cold and dark. But safe. For now. They sat in the silence. Breathing. Thinking. Elias finally spoke. You don't have to stay with me. Veltri turned her head. I know. But you are. She nodded. He looked at her. You're not just a weapon. She blinked. No one ever said that to me before. He smiled faintly. Then let me be the first. In the tunnel, surrounded by darkness, they didn't feel fear. They felt something else. Hope. The war wasn't over. The danger wasn't gone. But neither were they. The supply tunnel was quiet. For 2 days, Elias and Veltri stayed hidden underground. They ate in silence. Slept in turns. The krill drones passed overhead more than once. They were close. Too close. But the tunnel held. And so did their strange bond. On the 3rd day, the beacon buzzed. A message had arrived. Veltri grabbed it fast. Her heart beat harder than she expected. Most signals didn't reach this deep underground. She pressed the play button. A voice filled the tunnel. Veltri. This is Commander Iraq. Return immediately. You are compromised. Elias looked up. The voice continued. We have seen your false report. You failed your mission. We also know about the human. Veltri's claws curled tight. You were a weapon. You are now a weakness. If you do not return, you will be marked as rogue. Hunted. Killed. Just like him. The message ended. Silence. Veltri stood frozen. Elias watched her carefully. You okay? She didn't speak for a long time. Then she whispered, they knew. All along. Elias nodded. They never trusted you. She turned to face him. They were my creators. My commanders. I followed them since I was a child. And now? She shook her head. Now. I see what I was to them. A tool. A weapon. Nothing more. Later that day, Veltri found something strange in the tunnel wall, a symbol. Old. Carved deep. A circle with 3 lines crossing through it. She ran her fingers over it. Elias joined her. What is it? It's a mark, she said. From the First War. The Resistance used these tunnels. This symbol means safe zone. Elias stepped back. You're telling me this was a rebel base? Yes. But old. Maybe abandoned for years. He looked around. Then there may be supplies. Weapons. Maps. She nodded. Maybe even a way out. They searched the tunnel for hours. Behind a rusted panel, Elias found a sealed crate. Inside, 1 old data core, 3 ration packs, and a strange metal cube. What's this? He asked. Veltri touched it. A light blinked. The cube hummed. Then it spoke. Veltri, if you hear this, it means you survived. She stepped back, shocked. That voice. It wasn't a commander. It wasn't a soldier. It was her mother. The message played on. They lied to you. You weren't made in a lab. You were born. I was your mother. A rebel scientist. I tried to hide you, to keep you safe from the Dominion. But they found us. They took you. Changed you. Veltri's breath caught in her throat. The voice trembled. If you are hearing this, then maybe some part of you is still free. The cube went silent. Veltri didn't move. Elias stepped forward. Vel, that was your mother. She nodded slowly. I thought I was created. Designed. Not born. Elias put a hand on her shoulder. You were always more than a weapon. That night, Veltri sat alone in the dark. She remembered flashes. A soft voice. A warm light. A song she couldn't place. Memories, long buried. Stolen. The Dominion didn't just train her to kill. They erased her life. The next morning, Veltri made her choice. We can't run forever, she said. But we can't go loud either. Elias frowned. What are you thinking? I'm going to send them a message. To the Dominion. No, she said. To the rebels. If they're still out there. He looked at her, surprised. You want to fight? She nodded. Not for revenge. For truth. For others like me. Elias smiled. Then I'm with you. They used the data core to record a message. Veltri spoke clearly. This is Veltri. Former assassin of the Krill Dominion. If you hear this, know the truth, they lied to us. I was one of you. They took me. Changed me. But I remember now. I remember who I was. And I will not be silent anymore. She paused. Then added. There's a human with me. Elias Cade. The one they fear. He saved me by showing me who I really am. She pressed send. The signal launched. A spark in the dark. They didn't know who would hear it. But they knew someone must. Because the war wasn't over. But maybe, just maybe, the real fight was about to begin. The message was sent. Veltri and Elias sat in the cold tunnel, waiting. Hoping. Maybe the rebels were still alive. Maybe someone out there heard her voice and knew what it meant. But they didn't know. That someone else heard it too. High above the planet, deep in the blackness of space, a Krill warship drifted in silence. Inside, Commander Arak listened to the intercepted signal. His face stayed calm but his claws tightened. So, She had turned. He had warned the High Council. He had said she was a risk. Now he had proof. And he had a plan. "Wake Project Thorn," he ordered. A guard hesitated. "But sir, he's not stable." "I don't care," Arak growled. "Veltri was our best. To stop her, we need worse." Back on the surface, 2 days passed. No response. No signal. Nothing. Veltri grew restless. Elias stayed calm, but his hands never stopped moving, repairing gear, checking supplies, drawing maps in the dust. They had to stay ready. Veltri sat near the cube again. Her mother's voice no longer played, but the memory still echoed. She was born free. Now she had to fight free. That night, while Elias slept, Veltri heard something. Not a drone. Not a patrol. Footsteps. Heavy. Slow. Purposeful. She moved fast, silent, claws ready. She reached the tunnel entrance and froze. A figure stood in the shadows. Tall. Wearing black krill armor but modified. Jagged. Unstable. The figure stepped forward, dragging something behind him. It was a body. Half krill, half machine. Burned. Broken. But alive. The voice that came from him was sharp and raw. "Hello, sister." Veltri stepped back. Thorn. She remembered him. Another assassin. Trained like her. Changed like her. But something had gone wrong in his body. The changes made him stronger but unstable. Too dangerous to control. They locked him away. "Until now. I was told to bring you in," Thorn said. "Alive, if possible." He smiled. "But they didn't say how alive." He dropped the body. He dragged one of the krill troopers. "Kill just to send a message." Veltri didn't move. "What do you want?" Thorn tilted his head. "What I was born for." His claws slid out. "I kill traitors." She launched first. Fast. Sharp. Precise. But Thorn was faster than before. His arm caught her slash. His other fist smashed into her side. She rolled, landed, leapt again. They fought in the dark, claws, fists, metal scraping against stone. Thorn was powerful. Wild. His strikes cracked the walls. Shook the floor. Veltri was fast. Controlled. Focused. But she was losing. A light flicked on. "Elias." He held the beacon, set to overload. "Back off," he said. Thorn looked at him. "The famous human," he sneered. He took one step forward. Elias clicked the beacon. It began to whine. Charged. Ready to explode. "Next step, we all go up," Elias warned. Thorn stopped. He smiled. "You care about him," he said to Veltri. "That's your weakness." He turned. "I'll be back," he said. "You won't see me coming next time." And he vanished into the dark. Veltri dropped to one knee. Bleeding. Breathing hard. Elias rushed to her. "You okay?" She nodded. "I've had worse." He helped her up. "Who was that?" She looked at the tunnel walls. "Thorn. They made him like me, but he broke. Now he's a weapon without limits. And they sent him after you." She nodded. "They want to send a message. Kill me, and kill you." They packed fast. The tunnel wasn't safe anymore. They moved through the jungle, heading east toward the old rebel outpost Veltri had read about in the data core. It was far. But it was hope. And they had nothing else. That night, while resting in a cliff cave, Elias spoke. "You didn't freeze when he showed up." Veltri looked at him. "I was trained not to." No, he said. I mean, you didn't hesitate. You didn't let fear stop you. You're not just surviving anymore. She stayed quiet. Then she said softly, I'm not who I was. Elias smiled. No. You're better. Below them, in the trees, something moved. A red light blinked. Thorn had found them again. But this time, he wasn't alone.